You are Locked On Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
We know what this team now has to be. Okay, we're 9 games into the season. Go to the paint. Go to the paint. This team can't shoot a lick. They can't. We're 9 games in. We know this by now. They can't shoot. Now, maybe every once in a while they can get deep or they can get hot from deep. Every once in a while, it could happen where they have a night where everything's just dropping from three-point land. I mean, tonight they were 6 of 15, which for what it's worth, that's 40%. But Donnie Freeman had hit 4 threes. Okay? It was because of mostly Donnie Freeman. And Kyle Cuffe was 2 of 2. It's got to be a team that wins inside the paint. And obviously it helps when you're going up against a team like UAlbany, who doesn't have a single player that actually plays on its team that's above 6'8". I mean, points in the paint tonight, 62 points in the paint for Syracuse. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, you're not going to do that against any high major opponent, but that's the strategy. Go to the basket. And we saw right from the get-go in this game do exactly that. Thank you to the coaching staff for realizing that nobody on UAlbany is above 6'8", so not a lot of players really. There were very few moments in this game where you saw Syracuse settle for a bad shot. They were just going to the rim the whole time. Very early, Jair Davis just bullying his way to the basket for the first couple of points. You knew it. It set the tone for the game that they're not going to screw around and try to get hot from deep and take all these three-pointers. No, go to the basket, especially against a team like UAlbany, guys. I mean, come on. You got to go to the basket. This is what this team has to do going forward to be successful. Jaquan Carlos, I talked about his adjustment that he made in the first segment of this podcast. Go to the basket, because one or two things are going to happen when he goes to the basket. He's either going to get a layup, or if the defense collapses, which is really what they should do, he can find the open man. There you go. Go to the basket. Chris Bell, he still can't get it going from deep. He was 0 for 3 from three-point land tonight. You know what Chris Bell can do to make up for that so he can still be on the floor? Go to the basket. He had a nice and one at the end of the first half from Eddie Lampkin. It beat the buzzer. There was less than a second remaining, where he just cuts to the rim on the baseline. And Eddie Lampkin, shout out to him. He's an excellent passer. He finds him. Bell with a tough finish, makes it, and hits the free throw. There you go. And he had another and one towards the end of a game where he broke the press. He drove right to the rim, had a layup, made it, and was fouled. Go to the basket, especially when your three-point shot is not falling. You need to see the ball go in the hoop one way or another. Go to the rim. Donnie Freeman. Well, he was actually just hitting his three-pointers tonight. What did he go? Hit 4 of them? 4 three-pointers from Donnie Freeman. He was 4 of 4. Okay, I have been begging Donnie Freeman to go to the basket more often and stop shooting threes. I guess when you got it going, you got it going, so don't stop. Fine. If he's hitting threes, I mean, it's over for any defense. They can't guard him. He's unguardable. Which is why you want him to be a three-point shooter. It's one of those scenarios where I guess I am okay with Donnie Freeman shooting 1 3-pointer. And if he makes the three-pointer, he gets to shoot another one. But if he misses that first three-point shot, I don't want him to shoot another 3 for the entire game. It sounds kind of stupid, I know, but that's kind of the way I look at it. Like, I want him to still attack the rim because he's so good around the basket. But he was making his threes tonight. So am I going to kill him for it? No. You got it going, you got it going. And that's what I'm talking about, how the identity has to be going to the basket. But if occasionally you do get hot from deep, then you're hot. And Donnie had it going tonight. So I guess shout out to him. It's like the coaches finally figured it out. That's what it felt like. Oh. preseason, we wanted this team to shoot the ball well. It's been 9 games. They have not been shooting well. Maybe we should just attack the basket. I'm a big hockey guy, guys. And if you are a loyal listener, a loyal follower of this podcast, you know that I'm a hockey fan. I've said it a good amount of times. If you're new, then now you know. We've gained a lot of new subscribers recently, so now you're learning a little bit about your host, Jackson Holzer. I love the sport of hockey. Why am I bringing this up? Because coaches in hockey will always say to a forward, go to the net. Go to the net, because that's where you score goals. And when I compare it to basketball, it's like, go to the basket, because that's where you score points. Sounds simple enough? Because when you go to the basket, what happens? Well, you're close, so it's easier to shoot. What else can happen? Well, you can easily make the shot. You can get fouled. Mostly good things happen when you attack the basket. So Syracuse, for a team that can't shoot well, your identity is very simple. Go to the basket. And they did that tonight. And that's a large part of why they scored 102 points against UAlbany. 62 points in the paint. Do that more. They scored 102 points. They hit 6 3-pointers. What does that tell you? What does it tell you? They were going to the rim. 18 free throw attempts. And by the way, they were 16 of 18 from the free throw line. Got to keep doing that going forward, obviously. But you have all those attempts. Why? You're going to the basket.